Como é que é, pessoal? Bem-vindos novamente ao Underground Voice ao vivo. Hoje tenho o prazer de receber Flotsam and Jetsam aqui no Underground Voice. Man, thank you so much for being here. It's a huge honor to meet you and to receive you here at Underground's Voice from Portugal. I'm a huge fan of the band, so it's awesome for me. Um, First of all, the new album, Blood in the Water, will be released in June, and you already released the first single, Burning Sky, which is an awesome song. So, for those who haven't heard that yet, how do you define this song, and what can you expect about this album?
Uh, well, it's not the best song on the record. It's just the first one we decided to release. So that's pretty much more of the same. There's quite a different variety of types of metal on this record. We put a slower song on there again this time, which I've been trying to get on a record for 4 or 5 records now. It's extremely heavy. This record has a lot of melodies on it, but it's very fast, very heavy. Ken Mary does an amazing job on drums, which really did a lot for us on this record.
And this song was a great surprise for me, not only because of its quality, because we already used two good music from you guys, but for being so fresh. I mean, it's easy to see that you're still hungry for more, still motivated to grow and being better after so many years of career, right?
We feel like we never really got our moment in the spotlight, so to speak. So we're still very hungry for that. We're still very hungry to get it on the next level. So that's what we're shooting for. And I think it shows in our music now. We really want to get to the next level of the music industry than where we've been forever. So that comes across in our songwriting a lot.
And did this pandemic have any influence on the composition and recording process of all these new songs?
It did give us a little extra time to go through songs and make sure that they were what we wanted. We weren't rushed. The lyrical content, there's not on purpose, but there are some lyrical content that I'm sure has to do with the pandemic and everybody stuck in their homes and losing loved ones, and there is a lot of that. There is a lot of that content in the songs, but it wasn't a purpose thing. I didn't sit down and say, I'm going to write a song about the pandemic. It just happens to be the mood of everyone, including myself, because of the pandemic.
I think that since the self-titled album released like 5 years ago, all the albums are kind of connect, and they are the logic continuation of the previous one. It's something different comparing to the early albums, in my opinion, which seems to have their own life. Do you agree with that?
Our albums for our entire history have been very different from each other. The first 2 records were very speed metal-ish. And then we kind of got into a little more melodic, mainstream-ish kind of stuff. And then we got into weird, dark metal. And so I think all of the records so far has kind of, we've kind of learned who we are and the way we want to write. And I think our whole career so far has just been building up to showing the world what Flotsam really is.
The End of Chaos, the last album, was the first album with Ken on drums, and Blood in the Water will be the first album with Bill on the bass. So how important are being their contributions, and how hard is to deal with all these lineup changes you're all having all over the years?
You know, when Jason Bittner told us he was thinking about going to Overkill, my first thought was, this is going to be a terrible hunt for a drummer good enough to replace Jason Bittner, because he's an amazing drummer. And Ken Mary was really the first guy we looked at, our first choice. And once we played with him a couple times, I knew there was something very special about him. And he's got a career that just goes on forever and ever. He's been with everybody, he toured with Alice Cooper, with Accept, with, he's done everything. And it really shows in his playing. He is such a great addition to this band that I shudder to think where we would be without him at this point.
Oh, I can't hear you now.
Writing style or his playing style, because we've toured with him a few times. He was a fill-in bass player, so we knew we liked the guy, but we weren't really too sure about his recording abilities. And he surprised us all. He did some amazing work on this record, and I can't wait to start writing the next one with him.
Yeah, I would ask that because we all see the story of Ken with Accept, with Alice Cooper, with Fifth Angel, and other stuff. So he's really experienced, and Bill don't have that experience. So he's probably a really talented guy to be the first choice from you guys, right?
Yeah, I mean, we basically chose him because we know we can live with him, and we spend most of our lives on the road. So you have to be able to live with somebody. And we knew he was a good enough bass player, but after putting his tracks on this record, we know he's an amazing bass player, and I'm really happy to be with him.
And Flotsam and Jetsam was one of the last bands I saw live before the pandemic when you played here in Portugal with Overkill, Destruction, and Reset. Do you remember anything about this night? And do you have any opinion about the Portuguese crowd?
You know, we've played in front of the Portuguese crowd a few times now, and it is always some of the best shows on the tour. Always. The people are very passionate there. They really love the music. I love to talk to Portuguese people outside the venue, either before or after. I've learned a lot of stories about the history. So it's always a good time. And it's really nice to have passionate fans watching you play, because it just makes the night so much better.
It was a great show. I really remember that. Do you have already any plans to announce any tours, or you'll just wait to see what's happening in the world?
So far we've got a few offers. I think we're going to go do in January. We're going to do tour with Accept and Phil Campbell. So that'll be a good tour if we get on it. We've got some US things planned. We just want to be on the road constantly. We don't want to come home again. We've had enough of this sitting at home. We don't want to go home again for years. We want to be on the road until it's time to get back in the studio.
Yeah, we hope it's possible. And finally, thank you so much for being here once again. It was a huge honor for me to meet you. So any last words for the Portuguese fans and Underground's Voice viewers?
We plan on playing as often as we can. So if you keep an eye on us and see when we're going to be around, show up at the shows, come have a beer with me. We're here for the fans. We love the fans. We're not just here to be a rock star band or something. I really love hanging out with people and enjoying the stories from the histories of countries and the histories of families. And it's one of my favorite things in the world to do, is just talk to new people and make new friends. So please tell everyone, just come down, talk to us, hang out, have fun with us. It's what we love to do.
Perfect. Once again, thank you, and please stay safe and see you soon.
Oh, you too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Thank you.